Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. We have some news, but before we get into that, I just want to take a minute and ask you guys to make sure that if you like this type of content, that you hit that subscribe button as well as the bell next to it to be notified of every video I post here on the channel. And if you could do me a huge favor, give this video a thumbs up. That helps the channel out greatly every time you do that. Anyway, on with the news. The very first thing that I want to tell you guys about is actually something that I had just recently discovered on Facebook, as I had seen an advertisement for Ancient Era Artistry. This is an incredible sculptor that is selling some amazing resin kits that he has sculpted out, and they really are some of the best I think I've ever seen as we kind of shuffle through these images and show off some of the amazing work that they are creating. You, I think, will probably be just as impressed as I was when I had initially stumbled upon them. You can buy these kits directly from Ancient Era Artistry, but you can also buy these on Dan's Dinosaurs and Lana Time Shop, which is a huge plus if you are a fan of those websites. And they offer their kits in different sizes. They usually offer, mostly it seems like 1/20th scale, but the 1/20th scales are actually limited editions. They will be selling a lot of their models, I don't know if all of them, but it seems as though a good bit of their models will also be sold in 1/35th scale. They use premium resin when printing out their 3D models, and they use higher end consumer grade 3D printers to give you the highest quality cast possible. And one thing to take note of with their limited editions is once those models sell out, they will not be recast. So if the models that you see in this video, or if you happen to head over to their website and you check some of their stuff out and anything really, tickles your fancy and you'd like to grab it, but it's one of the 1/20th scale limited editions, I really recommend grabbing it right away, because after those are sold out, he then moves on to a new model. And of course, he will create models with those species again, but that model itself will not be sold again after it officially sells out, at least as far as the 1/20th scale versions go. The 1/35th scales are not limited, I don't believe. As far as right now, I don't believe they're limited, and I don't think he has any plans to limit them in the future. And one thing that's also pretty cool about his models is that he bases them off of characters that he creates in the Ancient Era cosmos. And when he is creating them, he kind of gives them personalities and backstories as well as circumstances that bring them to the moment that's captured in the model. So you really do have a lot of life and personality with these models, which honestly I think makes them kind of a cut above the rest. And on top of that, as far as the names of the different models that he creates, he kind of creates the names out of different aspects of his life, which is definitely something that's pretty cool to know. For instance, one thing that he had actually told me about was that Josiah the Sticky Moloch was named after a friend's young son who had survived a bad motorcycle accident, and you'll note that Josiah barely escapes being crushed by the battling Rexes in the Rexining diorama, which also might be one of the absolute coolest dioramas I've ever seen. Like, incredible for sure. But I really wanted to bring this website and sculptor to light for you guys to kind of tell you about it a little bit and to kind of sell you on Ancient Era Artistry, because I was so blown away by them and I had never heard of them prior, so definitely thought it was worth telling you guys about. So if you are interested in them, I will include links in the description to the Ancient Era Artistry Facebook page where you can go ahead and check them out, and again, grab yourself some of these incredible models. I'll also include a link to the website itself where you can again purchase more of their amazing resin models. But another thing that was just recently brought to my attention, which I thought was really quite interesting, we have potentially a Jurassic Park or Jurassic World line coming from Star Ace, as we've seen some images recently of this Tyrannosaurus and Donald Gennaro model that is being produced by Star Ace, and I am absolutely as intrigued as it gets to find out more about this. I don't know if this is going to be part of the celebration of Jurassic Park's 30th anniversary exactly. I would think maybe. But I really want to learn more about this, find out what their plans are, and on top of that, I would love to own that Tyrannosaurus model because it looks fantastic as of right now. So definitely something that is very exciting to look forward to coming from Star Ace in the near future. And speaking of Jurassic Park Tyrannosaurs, Itoy has recently unveiled this, stating that this will be coming fairly soon. It's not quite ready yet, but it's a really cool looking Jurassic Park style Tyrannosaurus bust. I think they did do a pretty good job on this one, honestly. They've had a few busts in their line in the past. Unfortunately, they're a little more expensive than your usual Itoy models are, but they I think are made to order models normally, so that usually fetches a higher price tag because they have to produce them as they're ordered. But it definitely looks looks pretty nice, and yet again another really cool model coming from Itoy. Haven't heard much from them lately, so it is exciting to at least hear something coming from them. And then when it comes to Shane Folks and the Cretaceous Creations of America, as well as this gorgeous Triceratops bust that I promoted not long ago, this is actually ready to pre-order currently. I was teasing this a little ways back, letting you guys know that it was coming, but I definitely wanted to let you know that it is officially available to pre-order, and it is quite big, so definitely something to think about when ordering it. I believe it's 1/10 scale, so it's a sizable bust. It's always awesome having a bust that has some good girth and size to it, so if you are intrigued in this and potentially interested in picking this up, I will include a link in the description to Shane Folks on Facebook, and of course if you do not have social media, you can contact me and I will contact him for you. And then as far as Rod's random work goes, he recently has created replacement heads for the Hammond Collection Parasaurolophus, and wow, these look so much better than the actual head sculpt that was given to us on the Hammond Collection Parasaurolophus. I did like the one on the Hammond Collection Parasaurolophus, but I feel like this one looks way more screen accurate, just generally way better, and I definitely love the way the mouth closes a lot better than the Hammond version. So another incredible product coming from Rod's random work. I'm not entirely sure if this will be sold by him or if it'll be hitting Siratech's shop, but definitely something to think about grabbing when it does come out. And then as far as Nanmu goes, they've given us this really nice image here showing off the upcoming Soul of the Dragon V Rex they are creating, and I think the V Rex on the right might be one of the previously released versions. I'm not entirely sure, but if so, the new V Rex is much larger than the older one, so that definitely intrigues me. I really am a lot more interested in this. Even though I was already very interested in this, I'm definitely even more interested now after seeing this very cool image. And then as far as Rebor goes, they had shown off this image earlier today of their Diplodocus model, and you can see that we have one of the Disney's dinosaur style Carnotaurus repaints back there next to the Diplodocus, or at least I believe that's who we're looking at there. And that Diplodocus is huge. Like, that is an absolutely massive sauropod figure coming from them, which has me even more excited about this one. I was pretty psyched to get a sauropod from Rebor in the first place, but looking at this image and seeing how big this is definitely gets me even more excited. But I also am quite psyched to see that Carnotaurus in there, because I was really happy to see that repaint kind of showing up in this image. I was hoping and praying that they were not going to scrap this one, because Rebor does tend to do that at times where they just kind of give up on models, and I really like that repaint, so I'm hoping that they do release that one sometime soon. But those Diplodocus look fantastic. And speaking of Rebor, they actually had shared this image, so it appears as though we will be getting some brand new Jurassic Park style Tyrannosaurs from Rebor in the near future. You can see that we've got the Killer Queen Requiem as well as Sheer Heart Attack, and both look really cool. Although this is the only image so far that we've seen of them, I'm definitely excited to see more. Even though we've got so many Jurassic Park style Tyrannosaurs out already, these two look to be potentially two of the best available. And then the final thing I have is from Mattel, and this was definitely a pretty monumental day when it comes to the Hammond Collection, because we got two Hammond Collection reveals. The first one is Ray Arnold, and I think he looks pretty good. Definitely a figure that I was expecting to hit the Hammond Collection line at some point soon, and definitely one that I will be adding to my collection. It's definitely awesome to have so many Ray Arnold figures. But as far as the dinosaur species that we had unveiled on us, we've got ourselves the Pachycephalosaurus. Now, we did hear that this one was coming, so it's not a shocker or anything like that, but it definitely looks pretty cool. I like the sculpt, I like the paint. One thing I think that could amp up the realism of these figures would be dark washes, something I've mentioned before. It would take them from looking like kind of a more articulated dinosaur toy and making them look more like a really cool articulated action figure, like a NECA type figure, if they just start to kind of give them some dark washes to improve the paint. But it still looks pretty nice and definitely has an overall fairly screen accurate appearance, I would say. Both had gone up for pre-order earlier today on Target.com. I don't know if they're sold out yet or not, so if you are interested in them, I would say check out Target. Maybe they're still available and maybe you can get a pre-order in. I know I grabbed the pre-order immediately for the Pachycephalosaurus. I'll get Ray Arnold probably in store, but I really wanted that Pachy, so check out Target.com and maybe you can get yourself some pre-orders in right now. So as of right now, guys, that's all the news I've got. When more comes out, I'll be sure to send it your way, but until then, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.